here with Kumaran from smartskin. How you doing, Kumaran?
Good. How are you?
Very good. So tell us a little bit about yourself.
So my name is Kumaran Raja. I'm the CEO and founder of smartskin Technologies. And I'm also an avid cricket fan.
Good to know.
Yeah.
So one of the things I want to talk to you a bit about is we've known each other for a while. And smartskin started off doing prosthetics and then moved on to different areas. So tell us a little bit about smartskin, where it started, and where it is today.
So smartskin started as a project I was doing on campus. It was based on research I was doing at the university. And so at the time, smartskin was basically just a sensor. It was a touch or pressure sensor. And so there was a world of opportunity for that kind of technology. Like you could use that in so many different applications. So it took us a while to find the right application for the technology, and we spent a lot of time looking. Like we did spend considerable time in prosthetics and in mobile phones and in golf and some other applications. So it did take us some time, but we learned a lot along the way.
So what is smartskin doing today?
So smartskin is primarily focused on industrial packaging. So we make sensors that allow, if you think about big bottling plants, allow them to measure line optimization or to improve line optimization with our technology. So it lets them measure line pressure as it happens in real time, and so they can detect bottlenecks as they occur and prevent them. So it saves them a considerable amount of money. Our estimate is millions of dollars a year.
Excellent. So what type of customers would you be potentially looking for?
So we are working with several large brand names right now. Many of them are in the beer market, or like they're brewers. So you probably know their names. So we're working with them. We are learning a lot by spending time in their plants collecting data. We're also now starting to focus on equipment manufacturers, so the people who actually create the lines or install the lines that go into these plants. They also see a lot of value in using our product and integrating our data into their systems.
Great. So you're doing something that's very exciting right now, and if you actually started to get quite a bit of traction with it. So what's one of the major announcements that's going to be coming out in the next week is that you just raised some more money, right?
That's right, yeah. So we just closed a round of financing. We just raised $3.9 million from a group of VCs as well as angel investors. So we raised about three and a little bit from the VCs and another $750,000 from our existing investors, including MBIF.
How did your existing investors feel about you making the pivot?
So when we started, we were focusing on a number of different applications, and the first one was prosthetics. The idea with prosthetics was that we could build a skin that could give amputees back a sense of touch, so a protective covering that could give the user the ability to feel and touch, right? And so that's a very powerful idea. It's something that we still believe very strongly in, and it's still something that we want to work on. But unfortunately, that isn't the right market for us. It wasn't the right market at the time for us to build a startup around. The economics just aren't there. It's still, I think, a very significant problem that we think we can solve or contribute towards. So we're definitely going to continue exploring that. And right now we are supporting the people at UNB, like if you're familiar with the Institute for Biomedical Engineering, they're one of the world leaders in prosthetics. And so we are currently doing some project with them. We're supporting research that they're doing using our technology to try and find solutions.
Okay. So the projects are still on a go, but it just isn't your business's main focus anymore.
Right. So we were really focused on prosthetics, and then when we realized, like when we started to build a business case around prosthetics, we realized very early on that this wasn't an opportunity I could build a company around, and so we started looking at other applications. And so another really big one that we focused on was mobile phones. So 4 years ago, we were in Silicon Valley pitching every phone company you could think of on the idea of putting sensors on the back of your device, so making your whole smartphone a sensor basically. So you could use the back for sliding and navigation and whatnot. And we spent a lot of time and money pursuing that. And we learned two very valuable lessons there. One, make sure you're solving a real problem and you're not just building technology for technology's sake, which is a little bit of what we were doing. We thought it was very cool, and we thought it was it could add a lot of value, but it wasn't really solving a problem. So it wasn't anyone's focus to use our product or to bring it in. The second was a customer is a person who will pay for your product, not someone who's interested in your product.
Right.
So we spent a lot of time pursuing companies that were interested in our product but weren't really customers. So, I certainly don't regret any of the time we spent there, because we learned a lot by building our technology in that space. Like, we improved our technology so much, we learned a lot more about, building a business case for an application, and probably made us a lot more successful when we did find the right applications for our technology.
So from those lessons, how did you guys get to the present product which you guys are developing?
So there's two applications that we're currently working on. The industrial packaging application, which is our main focus, and the second is in sports training. So right now we're focused on golf, because there's a very big market there and people are interested in using technology there. So what we did was customers came to us, so people came to us and said there's this really big problem in golf, which is grip pressure is a very important part of the game, but no one's measuring right now, and there's no information about that out there. So we wanted to test that idea. So we built a very rudimentary prototype, or a very bare bones version of our technology, took it down to Florida, met with some golf coaches. Like, we met with 6 people, basically questioned them one-on-one, back-to-back, and asked them, like, do you think this adds value? Why do you think this adds value? And then based on their feedback, like, we realized that this was, a significant opportunity, and it wasn't just for professionals or amateurs, it was for everyone. Everyone was probably making mistakes on grip pressure, and nobody had any information about it, so it's just completely ignored. And this is a game that's really analyzed. There's so much analysis going on in terms of your swing. People look at all these different metrics, but there's this really important aspect that's completely ignored because no one has the ability to measure pressure. So then we decided that this is something that we could do and we can focus on and we can build a business around. So then we built a more sophisticated version of our product. I'd call it an alpha or beta version of it. Took it down to some golf companies that we thought would gain the most from using our product, and we found a couple of partners that were interested in investing in us or in paying us to develop products for them.
So you went from the golf clubs to this pressure sensing drone.
Yeah.
It seems like a pretty big leap.
Right. So it's the same principles. Once we realized what the problem was, and that it really was pressure, and there was no other way to get there without measuring pressure, we decided this is something that we could solve. And then we did some homework, found out it was a significant market opportunity, and we built a product. We tested it with some customers. We found out that they were saving a lot of money or getting a lot of value out of using our product. So we've expanded on that, and we've sold to several large brand owners since then. We've gotten some amazing data from background customers. They're really excited about our product. Like, we're still really early on,
right?
And it's developing. We're going to announce a version 2 of our product later this year, so that'll be pretty exciting.
So this is probably one of the most exciting periods for your company so far.
Absolutely, yeah. So like, we are now, we're in the growth phase right now. So now we have a successful product in the market. Now our job is to get this product into more customers' hands, and now we got to build the team and the company to do that.
Excellent.
So, yeah.
So you started this venture about 4 or 5 years ago.
Yeah.
How have you seen the ecosystem in Atlantic Canada change over the past 4 or 5 years?
So it's changed so much. Like, when I started smartskin, I could name all the startups in Atlantic Canada on one hand. And now there's 20 in Fredericton that are doing some really amazing stuff. It's fantastic that there's so many startups around, and I think the reason the reason that this ecosystem has grown so much is because of the success stories, because of the Chalk acquisition by BlackBerry, because of the Radian 6 acquisition by Salesforce, and because of Q1's acquisition by IBM. It's created, first of all, this awareness that you can build a big business, you can build a successful company in Atlantic Canada, and you can succeed. And entrepreneurship is a valid career choice. It's not it's not just a hobby. It can be a career. And it's also created a network of mentors. So it's like all the ingredients have come together now and created this ecosystem, and some really exciting startups have come out of it.